Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I want to say also thank you for being so patient and understanding as I overcome these roadblocks to post my videos and film. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for just being so patient with me and understanding. I truly appreciate it. And I happen to have we got a new computer, so every Thursday from now on, promise, there will be a new video up, and every now and then I'll do a bonus video probably on Mondays. But anyways, also, if you haven't joined the Facebook group PCOS Positive Support, it's just a group of women supporting themselves and each other and their PCOS journeys, questions, tips, whatever, you name it about PCOS will all be on there. Right now it's a small group, so as it builds, there will be more posted there. But like I said, we'd love for you to join, so be a part of our group, add extra support there, and overcome PCOS together. So today I am talking about foods to avoid to overcome PCOS, gain your fertility, and balance hormones. Avoid these foods. This is my personal experience. I'm not a professional. I am just sharing what has worked for me and what research I have done. So take that as whatever as you will. Let's just get into the video. Foods to avoid. First, and the most common most people know, is refined white sugar. Refined white sugar is so processed, it spikes our blood sugar, and if you know anything about PCOS, that is a no-no. We do not need to mess with our glucose levels any more than we have to. So ditch the white refined sugars. Bakery items usually have them. Most everything has it. Most everything processed. That's another food to avoid, is processed foods. Overly processed foods that have been heated, cooked, taken from their whole food source, and just chopped down, heated over and over again to just make, some would say, good tasting food. But some of it is, but it's not doing anything for your body. So ditch the white refined sugars and ditch that processed foods. Here and there is a different story, but I always say, if you're in this PCOS journey and you're trying to balance those hormones, the more you avoid those foods, the faster you're going to achieve your health goal. So keep that in mind. Is that food really worth it? And the funny thing is, once you give that stuff up, you don't crave it as much. You don't really need it as much in your life. And there are plenty of substitutes for white sugar, processed white sugar, which my next video will be about. So ditch the processed white refined sugar. Did I say that enough? Ditch it. Ditch it. Next is ditch the caffeine. Ditch the coffee, ditch the black tea, ditch the soda, ditch caffeine. Caffeine is wreaking havoc on your hormones, your adrenal glands. It's not actually giving you energy. It's a fake high. It's actually taking away more energy than it needs to. That's why you always hear about the 2 o'clock feeling, or people having mood swings. It can lead to mood swings. I'm going to look at my notes here just so I remember everything. It disrupts your hormones. It leads to fatigue. It leads to moods, variations of moods, highs and lows. And we do not need that when we have PCOS. No one needs it, but ditch it. There again are other substitutes for coffee. If you're a coffeeaholic, you could always get the organic decaf kind, or there is coffee imitation out there that's actually pretty good for you. That can be, I'll put everything down below. There's some on Amazon. I'll put some of the stuff that I've had that I like, because I used to be Starbucks every single day. But let me tell you, it has saved me so much money in my pocketbook. I save so much money. It has saved me so much money and so much time and energy now without it in my life. So ditch the caffeine. Next is ditch the dairy. Dairy, regardless, organic or not, has hormones in it to grow a baby cow. These are extra hormones you're putting into your body that you do not need. You don't need that in your life right now. Typically with PCOS people, depending on which type you have, you're going to have a hormone imbalance, and just putting more hormones in there is just going to keep wreaking havoc and stopping you from achieving your balanced, healthy body. So ditch the dairy. Like I said, even the organic, grass-fed, all of that still has hormones in it that are going into your body that your body has to filter out. And it's obviously having trouble filtering it out and balancing itself as it is. So when you ditch it and it's not having to filter it out, trust me, you will feel so much better. Your skin is going to become clear. Your lip will even slow down on the hair growth, or if you have unwanted hair growth, or if you have hair that's falling out. I promise you, ditch the dairy. It will help it. Again, these are my opinions and what I've learned from research, so take it as you will. Ditch the non-organic meat. I'm sure most of you know watching this that I am actually plant-based. I don't eat any animal products. But if you're really gung-ho on sticking to the meat, at least stay away from the conventional raised meat. So have so many more added hormones. They typically have antibiotics in them. Again, just adding extra hormones into your body, making it more of a process for your body to detox itself. And I will say too, just let you all know, even the organic meats have hormones in them that the animal had. Take that what you will, but I'm just letting you know. But anyways, just ditch the non-organic meat. Next is ditch GMOs, genetically modified organisms. If you don't know what GMO is or what they are, I will put a link below explaining what GMOs are and go in detail, because I try to keep my videos pretty precise and to the point. But ditch all GMOs. They have been shown to cause cancer, hormone effects, tumors, you name it. The GMOs have been shown scientifically to wreak havoc on your body. Just to give you a quick rundown, they take genes from something and add it to genes into our food to try and create better food, but really in reality our body does not read it as food because we've never evolved, or God has never created us to eat that. Those genes belong to a certain animal, and this food is supposed to be as nature intended. So again, ditch the GMOs, really specifically soy, but ditch all of them. But stay away from GMO soy. You'll know if there's GMO soy in it if in the ingredients it says soy and there's no sticker on it that says non-GMOs. So nothing's going to be labeled if it has GMOs, but if it doesn't have GMOs, it's going to say non-GMO on it. And I'm sure you've already seen this tag on some of the foods you've bought. So just look for those foods when you are purchasing something. Look for that label, non-GMO. Next is stay away from artificial sweeteners and some natural sweeteners like agave nectar and stevia. Okay, I didn't know this until I was kind of doing extra research for this video, but agave nectar has been being compared now to high fructose corn syrup, which it's been labeled as low glycemic and safer and more nutritious, but now they're saying it's not. If you find that eating any of this stuff you aren't affected and you feel good right now with what you're eating, do what you will. But because information is always changing, especially in the health aspect, this diet's working, this diet isn't working. So just be sure to keep track of how you feel after you eat something specific, because there could be something I'm not listing in here that when you eat it you feel like crap. So if that's the case, ditch it. Anyways, stevia. Okay, so I told you about the agave. Now they're saying, well, it's not now they're saying, it is a fact. Stevia stops ovulation. In fact, in one of the tribes, I forget where it was, they used it as birth control. And I know that the main diet tip for most PCOS people is stay away from all sugars. So they're thinking, oh, this stevia doesn't spike your blood sugar, but it's been shown to stop ovulation. It is, your body is not reading it like you think it is. Ditch the stevia and ditch the artificial sweeteners. They have been shown to cause cancers, weight gain, anxiety, any artificial sweetener. But like I said, even the natural sweeteners, stevia and agave, steer clear of them too. Like I said, I will be making a separate video on refined white sugar substitutes, so stay tuned for that. Next is ditch the alcohol. I mean, some of these are pretty obvious. Ditch the alcohol. It messes up your whole system. It dehydrates you. It can make you depressed. It can just lower your mood. I mean, most people will agree it makes you feel like crap. I don't know anyone who drinks a whole bunch of alcohol or alcohol on a regular basis like, I feel super good and charged. They don't. So ditch it. Avoid it. A fun thing to do that like me and my husband do, he drinks every now and then, but I don't drink at all. Because here's the thing, you can think any of this is extreme, but like I said, for me, in my mind, it was, I can have this stuff sometimes or I cannot have it at all and reach my goal quicker. So that was just my mindset going in. But on like New Year's, I did ginger shots. They burn going down just like alcohol, and they even give you a slight buzz. So try a ginger shot. I don't know if you'll thank me or not, but I love ginger shots. Next is ditch fried foods and oils. When it comes to PCOS, many of us have blood sugar problems, and a lot of times this is due to excess fat around our cells, which is stopping the glucose from going in and out of our cells correctly. So when you are adding extra fats to the food, you are just adding to that. So avoid lard, even olive oil, even canola oil, vegetable oils, vegetables and canola oil, palm oil, those have all been known to cause inflammation, which is what we don't want when we have PCOS. We are fighting inflammation right now. If you have PCOS, you have inflammation of the body, so you don't want anything to add to the inflammation, which, by the way, meat and dairy cause inflammation of the body. Okay, I just had to let you guys know. Like I said, a lot of people get kind of like freaked out when I say something about meat, but I'm not saying it to convince you of anything. You can do whatever you want, but these are just the facts that I found. But oils specifically are known to cause inflammation as well, and most of them, not all of them, but most of them are GMOs. Now when it comes to coconut oil and avocado oil, I still use some of those because I still feel good when I use those. Like I said, I try to take information that I read and use it as guidelines, but if I feel like in my heart and how my body reacts to it is different than what that's saying, then I go with how my body feels. So do the same. Next is, and last is canned foods. A lot of the canned foods have BPA linings, which is leaching into our foods. If you don't know what BPA is, I will put a link down below. Did I already mention BPA? No, I didn't. I will put a link down below on what they are and what they do to our body and just more in detail. But they're in most of plastics too. And in fact, even if your plastics say BPA free, most of the time they've added something from what people are finding. They've added other ingredients to the plastics that are just as bad as BPA, but aren't really as well known as BPA. So it'll say BPA free. So try to avoid plastics. But going back to the canned food, sorry, I'm jumping around. You want to make sure the can says non-BPA lining, or you can call the company and see, and sometimes they won't have BPA in their cans, but they won't list it. But now that BPA has come out and people are starting to avoid it, most of the markets are realizing, okay, if we put non-BPA liner in here on the label, our sales go up and they increase. So avoid most of the canned foods unless it says non-BPA. All right, that was my list. I hope you all enjoyed it. Like I said, take what you want from this. This is just what worked for me. And I always tell myself, avoiding this gets me to my goal quicker. And there's substitutes for every single thing I've listed, which, why wouldn't we go to the healthier versions, right? Especially in our health journeys. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below. I look forward to seeing you on my next video. If you haven't, please feel free to click the subscribe button and turn on the notifications, and you'll get notified every time I post a video. Like I said, mommy videos, PCOS tips, and recipe videos to come. Thank you all. I hope you have an amazing day. Kick ass like always. Love you guys. Peace.